Hello, we're continuing video. Today we're going to take a look at another interesting team here for the Element Cup Remix Edition. We're going to have Seal in the lead, a water type which we really wanted to have here. You can also use something like Wooper most likely. And then we're going to have the say swap here of Chikorita. This Chikorita is a little bit special. This Chikorita is a running tackle. It's definitely more of a spicier moveset, as is something that you don't really see too often. And then we're going to have another grass type in the back with the Bulbasaur, which hopefully takes advantage of the Pokemon that Chikorita are going to bait out. Main idea of this team is you're going to have a water type, which is going to be good against fire types. You're going to have a Pokemon as a say swap, which will always get out every fire type of the opponent because you're a Chikorita, and like usually you get burned down by any Vulpix or Slugma or whatever. But then you're going to have Tackle and Body Slam as a combination, which is very neutral against all the fire types that are currently available, other than one. But like this, you should be able to then hopefully sweep endgame with the Bulbasaur like we just do in this game here. Good game there. Next opponent, we will see the Seal against Slugma again. Very decent for us. We're going to see us swap into the Lotad. Lotad is a Pokemon that I don't really want to see too often, like too much here. This thing is super bulky. It's one of the strongest Pokemon that you can run in the current meta. But it also only really can go for the Bubble Beam here anyway, so I can farm them all the way down. Not really the scariest Pokemon either. As we see the Litwick coming in, this is the one Pokemon where you don't really have any advantage of running Tackle against if you see it in the back, but as we see it here now against our Seal, I don't really care too much, as I will be able to go for the shield here. It's going to be a Flame Charge, and we're going to see the Slugma coming back in, which definitely doesn't want to get hit by this Icy Wind, which is going to debuff them. We see them going for more moves here. I will be able to go for another charge move here, which should be able to get the final shield, and I can go into my Tackle Chikorita-ing them all the way down. The Flame Charge coming through, we can shield up again. We will be able to farm them all the way here, as the Slugma gonna go down and the Litwick going to not appreciate my Body Slam here. Very cool that the Tackle actually came in clutch there as well. Tackle itself was definitely a cool option as a say swap. Like if you wanted in the lead on the back, I would never go for Tackle, to be fair. Wine Whip is stab and generates energy a little bit faster, but for like the say swap position, I think Tackle is the way to go. I didn't really see a ton of fire types coming in against me though, but definitely still something that I would recommend you to run if you want to try it out. If you don't have a Chikorita but you have a Shroomish, Shroomish would also be a very good option for a Tackle user as a say swap, but I didn't really want to build a new Pokemon, so here we go with Chikorita. We will be able to go for one Seed Bump here against the opponent's Seal, but sadly we don't have a shield anymore, and this doesn't look too good anymore as we're going to get hit by this Icy Wind. Here's a thing where I really would wish I would have still the Wine Whip, because I would have been able to easily knock them out here, but sadly, because I don't have it, they will be able to go for another charge move here, which is going to be the Icy Wind. Will be able to nearly knock me out, but doesn't quite knock me out yet. I can go ahead and go into my own Seal again. We will see the Slowpoke coming in here, and Slowpoke definitely gets damaged a lot by the Lick here, but it's still going to come down to the wire. Can I knock them out? Let's see the next charge move coming through here. Going to be the Awkward Tail. I will not farm down yet, and we see the Vulpix coming in, and that's going to be a good game as they can farm me down. Good game to my opponent. Sadly a loss here, but we see another Vulpix against us in the lead. The thing here with Seal is it's a little bit tricky sometimes because you are going to have no fast move pressure with a water type move. I really would like to see some more pressure there, but the cool thing about Seal is you will have a way better matchup against something like a Dewpider, just because you do neutral damage against nearly everything in the meta. We see the Dewpider coming in here. They can go ahead and go for one Mirror Coat here, which they're actually going to do here. I should be able to farm them all the way down now. Hopefully they're gonna go for another charge move here. It's going to be the Bubble Beam only, and can I farm them down, please? No, I cannot. I have to throw my charge move here, which is annoying because now I am 2 shields down. We're going to see the Vulpix coming back in here. I can go for another charge move. They can farm me down. They're going to let this move go through. They're pretty low, but doesn't really help me too much, as we see a Chikorita from the opponent coming in. And we are having a Chikorita with Tackle, and my opponent decides to now also surrender because they saw I have Tackle, and Tackle just does more damage than Wine Whip. There was nothing that they can do, as I will be able to farm them all the way down now, and it's going to be a good game. Next opponent, we see Seal against Seal. We have a Lick, and I'm going to swap out into my own Chikorita here. They don't swap out. My Seal, sadly, as you can see on the right side, has horrible IVs, so I don't really like to face the mirror matchup or any matchup at all with my Seal. If you have better IVs, it's definitely worth it for Seal. Seal really needs good IVs, and sadly I don't have any. But we see another Chikorita against us. Is this Wine Whip? Is this the other version? Is this the Tackle version? I think it's Wine Whip. But we will be able to go for another charge move here. We will be able to get a shield from the opponent, and that's not all. We're also going to be able to go for another move here. Actually, don't know if it's Tackle or Wine Whip here. I think it might be also Tackle here from my opponent. But we don't know. We will see. The Bulbs are coming in. I'm going to shield up the Body Slam here, and I will be able to get a ton of energy here, which is the most important thing, as I expect my opponent to have maybe a similar team than I have. But they actually have a Slowpoke on the back, which definitely will not appreciate this Seed Bomb here. Going to nearly knock them out. I can lick them down. We have now a Seal against an opposing Seal. I can go for the Ice Unit in time. This Ice Unit will allow me to debuff the opponent's attack, so they don't do any damage against me. And my opponent decides to surrender here, which is going to be a good game. Next opponent, Seal against Seal. This time around, I'm going to stay in for a little bit. But again, my Seal has a horrible IV, so it's going to be a little bit of a tougher one. So we are not going to have the bulk that other Seals going to have. But we will see that we get them pretty low. I'm going to go for the Ice Wind actually, which is interesting. I shouldn't have thrown this move, to be fair. I should have swapped out as soon as they go for another move, but now they can go for another Ice Wind, but they actually don't go for it. They're going to go into their Litwick, and Litwick is a hard wall for Chikorita no matter what. Litwick is a very cool Pokemon here currently, as they're going to farm me all the way down. I will be able to go for the Lick Down, hopefully, as they're gonna go for their Flame Charge here. Lick Down is coming through. I will be able to get them all the way down as we see the opponent coming into their Seal most likely again. I should have thrown my charge move, but I didn't for whatever reason. Awkward Tail coming through. I will be able to farm them down, but sadly they're going to have their own Bulbasaur on the back. And this will be a good game. Very similar team to what we have. Interesting that they don't really have a greater say swap here, but actually Bulbasaur might be a very cool say swap in the current meta, as we are basically got rid of the Ducklet, which was usually something that you would see a lot in the backline of some teams. So nowadays maybe just slow fire types are a little bit annoying, but otherwise it might be a decent say swap here. But they will be able to sludge me all the way here and win this this game here, as we see the next opponent. We're going to see Seal against Jupiter. Again, some matchup that you might expect to be a little bit awkward here, but it's actually kind of okay. That's why you definitely need Lick on this Pokemon here, or at least some kind of decent-ish answer for Jupiter on this Pokemon, as this one will be able to take the moves pretty easily. Mirror Coat actually did more damage than I expected it would do, but I guess it's because of my horrible IVs. We see the opponent coming to a Vulpix, which will be pretty interesting. You see, this was what we kind of was trying to prepare at least. We will be able to shield up. The next move going to be a Weather Ball. I can go ahead and try to go for another charge move here. They sadly reach theirs in time, but you see their health going down. And this good thing about Chikorita, you might actually just be able to realign your Pokemon. Yeah, we have two shields at disadvantage here right now, but I think we're going to get those shields back pretty soonish, as we're going to get the first shield here. And we can still go for another move, which will force the final shield from the opponent. I can swap into my Bulbasaur. Even if they go for one Mirror Coat, it shouldn't knock me out, hopefully. Let's see, it's going to be the Mirror Coat. It doesn't knock me out. We see a Seal coming in. We will be able to go for one charge move here, which is going to be the Seed Bomb. We're going to get them low. And we have to go into our own one here. We can go for one Awkward Tail. It's going to come down to the wire, to be fair. Awkward Tail coming through. We're going to get them low. They can go for their own charge move here, which will knock me out most likely. Going to be the Awkward Tail as well. Just barely doesn't knock me out. I'm going to get them in range. I can farm them down with Chikorita. And also the Dewpider are going to go down to my tackled Chikorita here. As we see the next opponent having a Surskit. Surskit is very similar to compared to the Dewpider. Surskit is basically the cheaper version of it, I think. I think it's 10k for the charge move unlock, but maybe you need some more power-ups. But this Pokemon has pretty similar stats and pretty similar moves. It has Signal Beam, which is actually a little bit stronger than what the Dewpider has. But we see the Seal coming in now, as we can go ahead and go into our Chikorita. We see a Tortuga coming in. This is something that I didn't really expect too much, but let's see what we can do. Let's seal what we can do. We can go for one Body Slam here. This Body Slam will get hopefully the shield from the opponent, and it does. And maybe I can get to another shield here with another Body Slam. Let's see if they want to shield this one up as well, and they do not. But we want to get them low at least, which is nice, and I'm going to shield this move up here, which maybe wasn't the right play, maybe was the right play, I don't know. I can farm them all the way down. As we see the Seal coming back in, we will be able to go for one charge move here. We're going to get them lower. We have to kind of swap and we can go for some Icy Wind damage here now. Well, the Icy Wind will of course get me the advantage of them not being able to do too much damage anymore to my Bulbasaur. I will be able to go for another one here, which is going to get them lower and lower. And I hopefully still going to be able to reach another move, but I sadly don't. Can I still farm them down in time? I should be right. They're going to go for the Icy Wind now. And they had just barely reached another one with a 1 HP NiRiain, which is not ideal whatsoever. But good game to my opponent. Nothing that I could have really done there otherwise, I think. Was a pretty fine game. As we see the next opponent coming in here, we will see another Dewpider. What a surprise. This Pokemon is everywhere because there's no good answer for this one here. We will see the Bubble Beam coming through. This is okay. We can go ahead and go for one charge move here. This charge move coming through, and we're going to get the attack drop here as well, which is amazing. As we can go ahead and go for another charge move here. Tail coming through. We can get them low. We can take this move and we can swap out maybe now into our into our Bulbasaur, which we use as a safe swap for whatever reason, as we're going to get hit by this Litwick here. We can go for one charge move. Sludge Bomb is all resisted, but it's fine. Sludge Bomb does a ton of damage still. I can go back into my Seal, farming them all the way down, seeing what we can do here still in this game. Of course, they only have fire type moves, but I still have to shield here so I can farm them down with lick damage. We see the Dewpider coming back in. We can go for another charge move here. They will let this go and we will see an opponent with a Seal. And let's see if they're going to swap out here and decide to surrender, but they don't, so I'm going to surrender. There was nothing I can do there anymore. Wine Whip would have been way better for me, of course, but it's always a little bit like hit or miss. You never know what you're going to face, and sometimes Wine Whip is better, sometimes Tackle is better. Next opponent, we will see here our Bulbasaur going for one Seed Bomb against Sneak Launcher. A Pokemon that's actually kind of interesting to play, especially as it's like also a Smackdown user, basically comparable to the Slugma. And basically those moves are very, very decent in the current meta. But we will see here now the opponent gonna go for the Rock Slide. And I will be able to farm them all the way down, but they're going to swap out here. I can go for an Icy Wind, debuffing the opponent's attack. This will debuff the opponent's Seal. And I can go ahead and go into my own Chikorita, but sadly they're going to run the Icy Wind version with Ice Shard this time around, which is not something that I would have really expected here. I have to let this move go through, of course, because I kinda still only have one shield left and I can go for the Body Slam just barely in time, which is amazing for me. This move coming through, going to get them low, and I will be able to go for the farm down with my Seal here. I can take the move and I will be able to farm down the Slugma as well, winning me the game. Good game there. Next opponent, second to last most likely, because the battles are so fast. We see Slugma against us. Slugma is fine. Slugma is totally okay. We will be able to win this scenario all the time. Basically, there's nothing that they can do, to be fair. I'm going to swap into my Chikorita just to showcase how impactful Tackle can be, as we're going to completely destroy the Slugma. We see the Dewpider coming back in. We can go straight for the Grass Knot, which hopefully does the most amount of damage that we can do here. Let's see, it's going to go unshielded, which is amazing. And they're going to have to throw another charge move, which we can unshield as well, which is very good for us. The Bubble Beam coming through, I sadly don't reach another one, but I can get some extra energy here now on my Bulbasaur, which will appreciate it, as we nearly are at another charge move. We will see the Slugma coming back in. We can farm them all the way down. We will be able to now hit 2 charge moves against the Seal, and they're going to surrender. Final game for this video, we will see Seal against a Wooper. That's a pretty neutral matchup. I can swap out immediately because, yeah, if I was the Wine Whip, at least I would have done a ton of damage against the opponent. Like, this is a kind of neutral-ish one. But we see the Bulbasaur coming in. And Bulbasaur against me is fine, especially as I let the move go through. I will be just able to align. Like, I can just go ahead, shield up their Seed Bomb. I can farm them down. Tackle is very strong in this scenario. As we see the next opponent coming here with the Wooper again, so they kind of scared of me, I guess. I would have been able to reach the move, but sadly lose the MP here. I will be able to go into my Bulbasaur now, and I can farm them all the way down. They can still reach another move, but I'm going to let this move go through. Hopefully they're not too weak there. As we see the opponent coming into a Dewpider, I'm going to have to go for another charge move here, and this final one will be a little bit of a trickier one, as we still have to get and try to go for the debuff here. I will get the debuff in time, which is important, because now the opponent will not be able to get rid of this one, and I still have my Pokemon half healthy, at least in the back. They're going to go for the Mirror Coat. They're going to surrender now, and this is going to be it for the video. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like on the video. Helps out a ton, and I hope I see you in the next one. Bye.